Well, for the first of our participant interviews here for Rise and Harness Racing Australia, we're chatting to the much-travelled New Zealand trainer, Ray Green. Ray, thanks for your time today, and how's Queensland treating you so far?
Brilliant. Everybody's great.
Oh, that's terrific. So to set the scene, you've been looking at coming to Australia with Copy That for a little while. It's been very challenging with all of the COVID restrictions and everything that's gone with that. But you've got your way to Queensland. And how has the horse settled in?
He's settled in. He's settling in better as time goes on. Yeah, he's really improving every day now. So it was good. It was good that we came earlier than we originally planned. But that was mainly because we got a direct flight into Brisbane, which was more desirable than trucking up from Sydney. So and that's been a bonus because the horses have been given more time to settle in.
I want to go backwards before I go forwards to a day that you've probably just got to erase from your memory, and that was Harness Jewels Day. In what's been an unbelievable career for Copy That, he turned in a career worst performance.
Yes, it wasn't his usual modus operandi. He was, he's normally sort of in the first two or three, but it was a bit of a shock to see him back there. But I have no idea. I can't give you an answer as to why he didn't perform that day. It was actually, if you look at it, it probably was better than we thought. We probably expect too much of him, but they still went 151 and on an off track. He never saw closer than 3 wide, but he didn't run on as well as he normally does. So it's a mystery. I'm not going to dwell on it because you go crazy doing that stuff. So we just turn the page and move on.
You do indeed, and you moved on to, well, I won't say there'd be some relief to it, but just to know that you're on track with a really sharp and pretty comfortable trial win at Albion Park last week.
Yes, it was sort of tradesman-like and wasn't spectacular, but he's pulled up good, and I expect him to sort of sharpen up a bit more before he races.
And that race will be this Saturday night. You going straight into the deep end. We don't know the final field as we speak, but it's expected there'll be King of Swing, Spankum, Turn It Up, yourself in the race as well, maybe even Colt 31. So this is a Blacks Are Fake dress rehearsal.
Well, it's they don't get much better than those. That's the best of the best, isn't it?
And you've got a fascinating little connection there because you had so much to do with King of Swing as a young horse.
Yes, we bought him as a yearling and developed him. He had a little mishap, setback as an early 2-year-old. Else he'd have made it then, but we took some chips out of his ankles. But he's come good towards the end of the season. We ended up winning the Breeders' Crown with him. And subsequently sold him to WA, and it was big money, and you hate losing those sort of horses. I loved him, and but business, money talks.
It does indeed, and then thankfully, only not that long after he left, along comes Copy That. The big attraction to coming across, we know that you'll probably run in the Sunshine Sprint, and you've got the Blacks Are Fake as well. But this new race, the Rising Sun, it looks to have filled a bit of a void in the calendar.
Yeah, well, it certainly attracted the very best horses. So it's obviously, well timed.
Yeah, very much looking forward to it. There's been a lot of New Zealand interest in it as well. So, look, we look forward to seeing him in action. And just I want to talk more about your background in the sport, which I find fascinating as well. But you've got a couple of travel companions, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way, but Tommy Lincoln got his campaign off in really good style, and American Dealer was good on the clock as well. So you might have all three in next Saturday night.
Yes, we'll front up with those three Saturday, and American Dealer. He's just in an overnight 3-year-old race. Tommy Lincoln, I'm not sure where he'll fit, but he'll be there anyway.
They're pretty handy travel companions.
Yeah, they're good. They're a good bunch of horses. Yeah, they are nice horses.
All right, now I'm good friends with Dick Lee over here in Australia. Probably not as good of friends as you are, but part of your friendship was formed many moons ago when you trained together in of all places, Wales. Tell us more about that. I didn't even know they had harness racing in Wales.
Well, at the time, Noel Simpson, who was a famous owner in the day, he had the track along with a syndicate of others. They built a track in North Wales at Prestatyn, and I went there the last year. Dick had already been there. Dick had been over there for probably 5 years. I went towards the end of that, and that's where I met Dick, and we've been good mates ever since.
And you even stay with him when you bring horses across to Victoria, he and Jean?
Have stayed with him and Jean several times since coming over here, yes.
Yeah, we know he hasn't been enjoying the best of health for a while now, Dick, so we send him our best wishes, obviously. But that experience in Wales, that was only part of the international experience you've had, Ray. You mentioned that you had some time in Italy.
Yes, I spent a season in Italy, in northern Italy, Torino. And I've been to Florida a couple of times. The longest period I spent in America was prior to coming back to New Zealand. I had 3 years in Maryland, and then back to New Zealand. So I had a small in Australia, but I went fruit picking instead of training horses. So.
just to change things up a little bit. Little birdie tells me you spent some time with a few legends of the sport in America.
I worked for Billy Houghton for his operation, and Howard Beisinger. He was a big trotting man at the time. Worked for them guys. Yeah. It was, but they're sort of big factory type operations. They're pretty impersonal, if you like. It's just factory work, really.
And tell us about the operation, the setup over in New Zealand. How many do you have in work, and where's the property?
We're at Pukekohe. We're adjacent to the training centre there. Our property's pretty well appointed. We've got 60 acres and 60 stables. Robert Dunn shares the place with us. He's got a one barn at the end, and I've some good boys working for me, Zach Butcher being one of them, Andrew Drake. I've got 2 other boys, the Sharp brothers. Yes, I've got a good crew. So the show goes on. We basically develop young horses from the sales. That's our routine, and we buy yearlings and develop them, and they're usually gone by the time they're 4-year-old. We sell them on unless they're superstars. And Copy That was sold on, and so was American Dealer, but those guys elected to leave them with us, so that was good. That was a bonus.
I'm not asking this question. There's no tricks to this question, but when they were younger horses, who did you feel was the better, King of Swing or Copy That?
Well, I always liked King of Swing, but of course he got a little setback as a young horse with the chips having to be taken out. Copy That was a handful for a long time. He would gallop in a heartbeat, for no apparent reason, and it took him a long time to get over that. But King of Swing was always a beautiful horse. I think Copy That probably had a bit more raw speed than King of Swing. It's hard comparing horses of that ilk, you know.
It's hard, but it's nice to be able to compare them. Will it be a little strange racing against him?
Well, in a way, yeah. In a way, you know, he's the benchmark horse in Australia at the moment. So yeah, it'll be sort of strange.
Well, you're a man who's done so much in your career. There's so much still to come, and you're adding an extra dimension to this Queensland Carnival with the 3 horses, most notably Copy That across there. Good on you for coming across and being part of it, Ray, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate that. Okay.